The gods of Olympus have abandoned me.
In preparation for God of War Ragnarok coming out in just over a month, I've decided to finally play through all of the God of War games and catch up on one of PlayStation's most iconic series. After playing through the entirety of God of War 2005, I can easily say that Santa Monica Studios' passion really showed throughout, captivating me with what is currently a 17-year-old game, leaving me excited for more. This is my first true hack-and-slash title, and while I was worried that combat would become stiff or boring, the exact opposite happened. With good pacing between upgrades throughout the game, including new melee attacks combined with fun and super powerful magic, there was never a dull moment. Between the Blades of Chaos and the Sword of Artemis, every single hit in the game felt right, packing a great weight behind all of your slashes. In a PS2 game, you're bound to have some degree of platforming. In God of War, it acted as a solid mediator between combat sessions, enhancing the world and spreading out the action so as to not dull its importance. The puzzles were also a nice supplemental piece for the game. None of them were too obnoxiously cryptic or difficult. The Tetris-type puzzle towards the end of the game required the most brainpower, but it was still very doable. The boss fights in this game were all extremely fun. Although I greatly struggled with Ares, all in all, each boss felt unique and very fun. There were parts of this game that looked so good that it made me question whether or not it really was on a PS2. The amount of work that went behind pushing this system to its absolute peak shows, and I think it's aged extremely well. The performance was fantastic throughout the entire game, with steady frame rates and an extremely low amount of loading screens. Without a doubt, this game is the most cinematic I have personally experienced on the PS2. The shots in various areas of the game make it all so immersive, beautiful, and fresh. I knew right away when playing through the Hydra boss at the very beginning of the game that I was going to be in for some epic scenes throughout. The level design in this game was very well done. Creating a world that you can flow through in multiple different directions elevates an area to its full potential, as seen in Athens and Pandora's Temple. There was only one moment in the entire game that didn't flow properly to me, and that was the rope drop in the Cliffs of Madness. God of War 2005 did an excellent job creating Kratos as a war-torn, menacing being who will do absolutely anything to achieve his goal. The brutality of his kills, the selfishness of his actions, the flashbacks of his menacing past all culminate to create a character who is objectively an awful person, yet still makes him so badass that no one really cares. The story was very interesting to me and kept me driving through leagues and leagues of monsters to help Kratos pursue his goal. All in all, I cannot wait to see how the story of Kratos continues to develop through the remainder of this series. I have never in my life sat down and played a single game for this long, completing the entire game in one day. That alone truly sells me to how brilliant this game is. This game is easily a 9.5 out of 10 for me. I highly recommend it and would implore anyone who is interested in the God of War series to play through it.
Now there is no hope.
And Kratos cast himself from the highest mountain in all of Greece. After 10 years of suffering, 10 years of endless nightmares, it would finally come to an end. Death would be his escape from madness.